Okay, so I am so excited for our second conversation this week. I want to know, well, first of all, if you are watching on the replay and you haven't caught the first call, the part one, you want to go catch part one first, because if you're just tuning in for the first time here and it's call number two, part two, it won't make as much sense. Okay, so there very much is a linear progress with this method and with this conversation. So go and watch part one if you haven't already. Okay, so here we are, part two. Like I said, I'm so excited and I'm so grateful that you're all here, whether you're live with me or on the replay. This information is absolutely revolutionary and game changing for all of us, right? And for me, I've especially. Okay, so if you joined yesterday, which both of you that are live with me here did, I want to hear, how was your day? Yay. Okay. I did the morning routine. I feel so much lighter throughout the day. That was my next question. How was the morning routine? How was your morning routine? So good. Okay. Your challenge today, I don't even like to say challenge, but I would love for you guys to share your morning routine in the group chat. Okay. Get in there. As you see, like, it is my community group chat, but I love the movement that has been, the energy that has been coming from this event, especially from you guys. So get in there and just share what you're doing in the morning. Let's talk about it. Let's inspire each other to add different pieces to our morning routines and things like that. Okay, sorry if my video is choppy. I feel like I'm a little choppy this morning. I'll let it catch up. Okay, so let's get into the conversation. We're doing things a little differently today because I was going to give my like old man computer a little bit of a break, but it looks like it's still struggling with this. So anyway, so what is your biggest realization so far since our conversation yesterday? What is your biggest realization? What is something that you've learned so far? What is something that you're like, holy shit, my life is never going to be the same because of this one thing? What is that? Tell me in the chat. It's impossible to create from that state. Yes. I kind of knew it, but now I know it. I really know it. It's impossible to, yes. Talking out loud will give a voice to my inner voices, breaking the negative talks with the good, positive ones. Yes, absolutely. So good. I love that. And so today, oh, before we do, remember if you haven't taken a photo or a video of you, you're tapping or whatever we're doing here, and then share it on your stories, tag me. I want to give you a custom audio tapping session. Okay. So I was feeling kind of meh today after being on my laptop for hours, and I moved my body, took a shower, slowed down, did some breathing, and I feel so fresh now. Yes, absolutely. Moving the body, getting the energy flowing, right? All right. So today's conversation is, yesterday we went from understanding, right? Yesterday we understood, we built awareness, and we now have so much more awareness around, our own selves and what's happening when those emotions arise, when we have different thoughts and feelings and what is actually happening there. And the fact that there's nothing wrong with us. We are not inferior in any way. This is all understanding the nervous system. And this is so potent and so powerful because with information, with awareness, we can then alchemize it into something really, really beautiful, right? And so today we're going to go into some healing work. So the conversation is going to be a little heavier, but I promise that afterwards you're going to feel so much lighter and it's going to impact every part of your life and your business. You're going to notice such a big shift. Okay. So as we go through this conversation today, I want to remind you that you are safe. And we're going to be telling ourselves, I am safe a lot today, because if we don't, our nervous system is kind of like, it's a guard, right? It is protection for our body. And so if we are doing this healing work and we don't feel safe, we are, in a have you ever been to like if you go to like a singing bowl ceremony or like a yoga class and like you just really don't feel safe with the practitioner and you can't fully relax, or you don't feel safe with someone else in the room or in a group setting, whatever it is, That's the same thing. Like, our body is tense, our nervous system is going to do everything it can to protect us. So we're going to remind ourselves that we are safe. You know, you're safe with me as I guide you through this process today. All the things, we got you, I got you. And we're going to be breaking cycles today. We're going to be reprogramming, we're going to be healing, we're going to be empowering ourselves. Yeah, and it's really safe for us to do this work. Okay. So like I mentioned yesterday, we talked about this a little bit. We're not going to just like sweep old information under the rug anymore. We're not just like band-aiding our feelings and beliefs anymore. We're actually doing something about it, because we know what happens when we do, right? We know what happens when we don't. We know what happens, if we are to continue to say it's okay. Like, no, it's fine. I'm fine. We're doing great. I'm just going to show up anyway. I'm just going to continue to do the things. I'm going to I can do this. I got this. It doesn't matter. What happens is that they continue to resurface. Anytime something happens, anytime we get in their head a little bit, these old feelings and emotions and information resurfaces, and we can actually, like, even, if we are to track ourselves for say 3 months, I'm pretty sure we could see a definite pattern if we think about that. And it can have a lot to do with our hormones, yes. But in my opinion, like I mentioned yesterday, that is not an opportunity for us to feel like we need to burn our business down just because we're feeling a little bit hormonal, right? We can actually alchemize that energy. We can become aware of, oh my gosh, this is what's actually happening. These old stories are coming up. And actually, I'm not going to listen to them. I'm actually going to heal them. And I'm going to use that energy into creating something magnificent and something magical. And I'm going to get out there and I'm going to serve and I'm going to help people to heal. Okay. So EFT, like we spoke about yesterday, EFT is emotional freedom technique. So through tapping, we're literally freeing this emotion, this old information and trauma from our bodies. And there will always be more to heal. There's always going to be more to heal, right? We're never ending healing. There's more to release, more resistance to unpack, more to process, whatever it is, right? No matter where we are in our lives, our businesses, our income levels, there will always be more to heal. So especially as we expand, exactly, because as we're going to talk about in a second here, like, this is a big deal. Okay, so before we do, our beliefs are a collection of past information. I just want to realize, I just want us to realize that, our current perception, the way that we see the world, is not actually the way the world is. It's all based upon past information. So past information we've collected through experiences, through teachings, through, school, parents, well-meaning people in our lives, their beliefs have been not like projected, but kind of projected onto us. And it's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's just information. And so when we start to realize that the way that, we perceive the world is actually not how the world is, we can actually begin to get a little bit more playful with that and ask ourselves and start to question our beliefs, right? And start to question our relationship with money, start to question our self-worth, these cycles, these patterns, whatever, these assumptions. We can start to question all of it. And it gets to be really beautiful. And we can start to reprogram it and start to choose, consciously choose, actually, why have I been? Because most of the things we do in a day are habitual, right? It's like habits. It's just habits of thinking that way, habits of spending our money in this way, habits of using our time in this way. All of those are controlled by this program. We're basically running an old program on a computer system, but we get to upgrade said program. And that's what we're doing here. All right. So, yes. If I gave you 30 clients right now who are ready to pay you and get inside your program, how would you feel? Okay, we can increase this number. If you're like, yeah, 30 clients would be sweet. What about 100 clients? Are you ready to hold that? Okay, I want to know in the chat, like, initially how you would feel. How can I hold them? Sylvia's like, fuck yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. How can I hold them? This is good. I love the contrast here. So let's talk about it. So, like I mentioned yesterday, I think I mentioned yesterday anyway, the first time my last business made 10K months, 10K months, I was like, it came to a point where I was like, who am I? Who am I to give them this information? What have I done to deserve this? I haven't worked hard enough. And it's like, what? This is nuts. Like, I worked hard for that. And like, trust me, back in my old business, I was very much in the like working hard. Like, success is the result of a lot of hard work. It was following the old masculine model. Okay, so what we want to um, realize here is that it can go either way, right? It can go either way. It's like, how can I hold them? Like right now, if I was to have 30 people, 100 people in my program, how could I hold them? Therefore, that belief is going to manifest, and we're going to self-sabotage, and we're going to stop ourselves from being able to receive 30 people. And it's going to feel really real, really, really real, right? But the other way it could go is like the example I gave is like, okay, 30 people, 100 people come into my program, and then we're in it and we're like, oh my gosh, now what? I don't know enough to lead this many people. I'm not strong enough. I don't have this much energy. This is really draining. Like all of these things. Okay. So it can go either way. So we only ever get what we can handle. Best teaching ever. Yeah, totally. I used to say when I was a single mom alone with my two babies, like a baby and a tiny toddler, that the universe only gives me what I can handle. So it was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like that, but it makes sense. And when we think of it from the nervous system perspective, like, of course, how do I know what I can handle? Exactly. It's through awareness. It's through this. So when I said, I'm going to give you 30 people and they're ready to pay you and come into your program, your initial reaction was, holy shit, how can I hold them? So then the question is, what do we want? Right? Where we are in this group, we are in this event because we want 10K months. Let's just start there. We want 10K months. We want to be able to hold that. But the reality right now, where our nervous system is we are not ready to hold it. So that's the work we're doing here. And how do I know what I can handle? It's kind of like, hopefully that kind of helps there, but it's not necessarily, actually, it's not at all, okay, I'm going to like come back down to like what I can handle. It's how can I expand? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I want to have and hold 10K months, which means I have to have X amount of people in my program and in my, whatever we have, your membership, your world. And so how can I expand it so that I can hold it? That's what the work we're doing here. Okay. So yesterday I mentioned a little bit about how the law of compensation works and how I actually didn't have my exchange properly set up back then when I was like, yeah, calling in, $1 million. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. And it's like, what in the world? If, like I said, if I was to look back and like look at like what my offer suite looked like and what my offers were even at that point, it's like you were clearly delusional. And it kind of makes me sad that I'm not saying like nobody told me, but it's like I had people in my world that I, how do I want to say this? I guess like I wish I knew. That's all I'm going to say. I wish I knew. Okay. And now what I get to do here is I get to help you guys to fill in these gaps, and not only in your nervous system and your emotions and your ability to hold a new reality, but actually in your tangibles as well. And so you're going to hear about a program tomorrow. It's my scale program, which is my 3-month program where we bring all of this together. So it's the tangible and the nervous system, so that scaling your business feels really fun and it gets to be effortless and it's actually there. Okay. So if you had 30 people ready to join your offer, what do you believe is between you and this? Okay, I want to hear from you guys in the chat again. What do you believe right now is between where you are right now and these 30 people? Okay, self-belief. What do you believe is between you and 10K months is another way to say it. Preparation. Okay. So this is good because it's kind of like those tangibles are coming up as well, which is good. It fills in the blank. But beyond that, what else? So say you had the preparation set up now. And then Sylvia, can you go a little bit deeper in like your the self-belief and like, can I hold this? Is it like, am I worthy? Um, is my method, whatever we want to say, effective? Actions I'm not taking because of that. Okay. So we don't believe in ourselves, sort of thing. Therefore, I'm not posting more and not caring about being judged. All right. Awesome. Love that. All right. So not selling my offers as loudly as I could. Okay. So why are we not doing this? Because we don't believe in ourselves, right? Okay. Gotcha. All right. So our nervous system just wants to feel safe. That's all it wants. So if we do not feel safe welcoming in 10K months to our business, to our life, these 30 people, let's say, we will self sabotage, right? We will convince ourselves we're not good enough, we're not ready, we don't know what we're talking about, all the things we just said, right? And it will feel really, really real. It will feel so real, and our actions will reflect it. But we both know that it's actually not real. Like that self belief, not trusting ourselves, not believing in ourselves, not believing in our method is not real. I actually put a little voice note in the group chat yesterday, which I'm totally random with like the group chat voice audios. Like whenever I get a little bit of inspiration about something, I'm like, oh, I got to go in there and share it. I do the same thing inside my tapping membership. It's like just spur of the moment. And what I talked about yesterday was basically the realization that we've been taught that we need to be validated, and we've been taught that we need to be right. And there's only one answer, basically. Like we need to conform, we need to fit in, we need to make the mark. Okay. Whether you went to public school or not, like this is our societal norm, is like follow the rules. Okay. So how does this relate to our business? Is right now there is potentially a part of us still believing that we need to do things a certain way. Okay. And so for me, what I believe separates a even like a business owner from a leader is someone who recognizes that their own method is the way forward. Okay. And that the experience, the wisdom that we all have on our hearts, like us as a person, gets to be the way forward. And it doesn't need to look like anyone else's. It doesn't need to make logical sense. It doesn't need to follow anyone's rules or conform to any system. And that is what separates, in my opinion, like business owners from leaders, like revolutionary, monumental women making a serious impact on this planet, is that. Okay. And so over time, you're going to realize that you're continuing to try to please other people, to fit in, to, follow the rules, it's not serving us. Okay. And so on that voice note, I actually mentioned that I read something the other day on Instagram, and she was basically saying, like, I don't write my posts. My best friend does. My best friend that I've made up. And she is so obsessed with me. She was so obsessed with my work. She doesn't see a single flaw in anything I do or anything I am. And she writes my posts for me. See the difference? What would she say? And I do this too. Like, I honestly do. It's so good because it takes us, the human, out of it. That is where we want to operate from, because that is our truth, you guys. That is our truth. Like right now, we're operating, like we talked about yesterday, like all of these ideas, beliefs, and perceptions are learned information. And so when we are stripping them back from our experience, when we are letting them go, venting, processing, healing from them, we realize that we are actually infinite. We are actually infinite. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow. Okay, so, but it's up to us to free it from our experience. And this is what we're doing here. Learning this information, we're venting, we're going to be working on the inner child today. Like this is huge. This is everything. Okay. So when it comes to the inner child, today we're going to do something that is maybe a little different to anything you've ever done. Even if you have done like quantum healing work, inner child quantum healing work, this is kind of similar, but it's something that might be pretty unique. So what we're going to do before we get into it is I want us to tune into the emotion that is tied to what we expressed is between us and those 30 people, or us and those consistent 10K months. Okay, so tune into this emotion. I want you to take 3 deep breaths. So we'll close the eyes and just inhaling through the nose. And then exhale through the straw. Nice and slow. One more breath. And I want you to tune into this emotion that is tied to this perceived limitation or block. Okay, notice how it feels in the body. And I want you to notice and ask yourself, is this a new feeling or an old feeling? Have I felt this before? Chances are it's an old feeling. Okay, and it's always the first thing that comes to mind. Trust yourself. And then I want you to think back to the first time you can remember that you felt this feeling. And again, it's the first thing that comes up is right. So maybe this is a time when you were a child, a younger version of yourself felt this similar feeling. Okay, can we associate this feeling to a specific or even a vague experience? It doesn't have to be something super specific, and it doesn't need to make sense. Okay, I want you to take another breath here and exhale through the straw. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I want you to grab your notebook or a pen and paper or notes on your computer, whatever you're using. And I want you to write down, if you could go back in time and speak to that younger version of you, what would you say? Okay, what would you say to her? And I want you to write it down. And I'm going to give you a couple minutes to write it down. Okay, if you didn't have a specific memory that came up, you can still write to the younger version of you who had felt these feelings, something similar. And then if you noticed anything that you want to share as you were just observing that feeling, you want to share it in the chat, please do. People have always seen and loved me for all that I am. And here I was trying to only show them one little part, and I thought I was fooling them. Hmm. Going first in gym classes to demonstrate a movement, I was afraid of others will laugh at me. Yes. Okay. Is there something that happened before that, Victoria? Like something that maybe you did something like that and then the people did actually laugh at you? Like usually, like even people will say, I'm not confident. It's not that you're not confident. It's actually just because in the past you like fucked up and people laughed at you and it wasn't actually your fault. It wasn't anything negative, but you made it mean something and you held on to that emotion. Okay. Mm-hmm. Something like that, right? I'm gonna go first. My best friend doesn't have to, but then boys always laughed at me. Yes. Okay. So every time we do this inner child work, there's going to be a different experience that comes up. And you will probably see something that happened before that, but like before that experience. Clearly saw myself being terrified of my teachers finding out I wasn't perfect or nice because I was secretly a bully. And I was like 4 or 5. The bully, Sylvia the bully. I couldn't imagine it. Uh, okay, interesting. So this again can have something even deeper than that, like the rude girl. Like, was this like a defense mechanism in the house because you had older siblings or something like this? Yeah. So this is something that you get to sit with and you will begin to unpack this a little bit more. And so now, how does this relate to your business right now? Sylvia's, you know, terrified of my teachers finding out I wasn't perfect or nice because I was secretly a bully. So now, do you find that you're still trying to conform and be that like nice girl, but really you're actually, have things to say, for example, wanting to be perfect and nice and fearing their judgment? All right. So now we start to put some dots together, right? We start to link some dots together. How do we say that? Because now when it comes to showing up online, can we see some similarities? We can see some similarities, right? This is huge. And this is going to continue to happen until we heal, really. All right, you guys. Okay, are we ready? So we have our letter to that younger version of ourselves, our little paragraph here. And we're going to start tapping. And there's going to be some places for you to fill in the blanks. Okay. And you're going to fill in the blanks to yourself as you're repeating out loud. And then there's going to be a spot where you're going to actually read out this message to this younger version of yourself. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a different tapping technique today. We're actually going to tap on the nail beds. So it's like the sides of the fingers. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you want to tap like together or like that. Okay. And all we're going to do, it keeps it really a lot more simple. And again, we'll start with the thumb and then the first finger, middle, ring, pinky, and then back up. And you go as fast or slow as you want to, and just continuing that pattern again. Yes, I will stop sharing, of course. Sorry, I meant to do that. Yay. Okay. Now you can see me good. All right. So we are tapping on the nail beds, like the sides of the fingers. Doesn't matter for how long, doesn't matter how fast. That's what we're doing as we're going through this visualization slash tapping experience. Got it? Okay. All right. So when we are ready, we're going to tap on the nail beds and we're just going to take a big breath in through the nose and exhale through the straw, reminding ourselves that we are safe. It is safe for us to do this healing work. And we are ready to heal. Doesn't matter which hand, no. Okay, repeating after me. I am noticing that when I'm calling in, or when I say I'm calling in these 10K months, and I tell myself that I'm ready to receive 30 aligned clients into my program, I feel some resistance. And it feels like, fill in the blank, how's it feel? And I can feel it in my body. In this spot, where can you feel it? And I know this is not a new feeling. This is an old story. And I have this memory that came up from when I was around this age. And I know that in order to heal this, I need to go back and speak to this younger version of me because she deserves that. And I deserve that. And we both deserve to heal. And so before I do, I'm going to ground. And I'm going to remember that I'm safe. Because when I visit her, I want to be solid. And so I can feel the earth beneath me. I can see the world around me. And it is very safe for me to go back to this memory and heal my inner child. So I'm going to go back to this place now as I take a deep breath in and out. I float up and out of my now and travel back through all time and space to this specific memory I'm thinking of. And as I observe her right in front of me, I can feel her fear. I can feel her pain. And I can feel how she doesn't feel safe. And I am going to walk over to her now. And I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to say, hi, I'm you from the future. And I came here to tell you something really important. I know that you're going through a lot right now, and it feels, how does it feel? But I want you to know that you are safe. I've got your back, and everything's going to be okay. You are enough. You do not need to hold on to this feeling of fill in the blank. And I want you to know that you're not alone. I got you. I'm taking care of you now. You're safe with me. You open your arms and give her a hug. Continue to tap, noticing how you're feeling, noticing how she's feeling. And then you release the hug and you look at her and you read your letter to her. Continue to tap through the tapping points, the sides of the fingers, and you can look at your notes and you can literally read off what you said. And we're going to just continue tapping like this. I'm going to be quiet and you can read through your letter more than once. If you finish, you can read through it again. And when you're ready, take a big breath in. And you see yourself giving that younger version of you a big hug again. And you say out loud, I'm always here for you. I've got your back. I will protect you. You're safe with me. And as you take another breath and you exhale, you begin to let go of this memory. It fades away a little. And continue to repeat after me. You can say, I know I can come back here at any time. And I know that this younger me is safe and taken care of. And you feel yourself coming back into the room, floating all the way back. You take another breath and you can stop tapping. You wiggle your fingers and your toes. Exhale through the straw. And again, take a full inhale. And exhale. And one more breath. Inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, you can wrap your arms around yourself, wiggle the shoulders, give yourself a big hug. And then you can open your eyes, looking around, fully grounding, arriving back in your now, right now. And I want you to just take a second to write down anything that came up for you, anything you noticed. If there's anything you want to share, put it in the chat. Remember that this is a safe space. Those of you on the replay, if you feel called to share, post it in our group chat. I would love to hear. Very soothing and soft. Yes. So sometimes when we do this process, I love that. First, she was confused. So when I read the letter, she understood. Beautiful. When we do this process, like we talked about before, there's always more to heal. Yeah, she has a strong heart. I'm so strong. Love that. Feels good. Okay. So sometimes when we do this process, we can feel like a residual, like we've taken on this energy now. And so before we close our call, yes, exactly. She is you. Before we close our conversation today, I want to do another little quick tapping session where we are going to put this residual energy, if there's anything that we feel that we've taken on. So like I said, every time we do this, it's going to become even more clear as to where kind of like it's almost like the beginning of this came from. So the first memory of us feeling in this way. So something happened that caused us to feel insecure. Something happened that caused us to feel fear around other people and their judgments, right? Something like this. And so this will continue to evolve and get deeper, and yeah, there's always more to heal. So this is beautiful. Okay, so I encourage you guys to journal through this process this afternoon, like after you're done listening to this, journal through a little bit more of it and see if you can find like a root, even like a root cause or like a root experience. And we don't have to like know exactly what it means, or it doesn't have to make full sense, but chances are there is a younger version of you that has had this experience as well and is like continuing to replay this. Okay, so let's do our grounding tapping. Okay, when you guys are ready. Drink a ton of water. Ready. Okay, we're going to tap on the side of the hand. Take a breath and exhale. Tapping on the side of the hand and say, I have these memories and these emotions and these feelings, and I'd like to come back to them at another time. So I am ready to put them aside. So I don't need to continue to carry them with me through my day. And so I am going to choose a container or a vessel. And I'm going to see it in my imagination right now. And I'm going to notice the color of this vessel, of this container. I'm going to notice the shape. And I'm going to admire its beauty. And I see myself now opening up this container, this vessel. And I'm going to put these memories inside. I'm going to put these emotions and these feelings that I've been holding on to inside of this container. And it feels very safe for me to do this. And I'm going to close the container, tapping on the top of the head. This container, eyebrows, describe your container. Side of the eyes. I'm going to put it somewhere safe. Under the eyes, somewhere safe that will hold these memories and feelings. Under the nose, so I can come back to them whenever I want. Under the mouth, and I can continue to learn from them. Collarbone, and I can continue to heal. Underneath the arms, and I'm going to put this container, where are you going to put it? Under the chest, so that I can come back to it later. Wrists, and so I see myself now putting this container, where are you going to put it? Top of the head, and it is safe for me to do this. Eyebrows, it is safe for me to come back later. Side of the eyes, to continue to learn and to heal. Under the eyes, and now that I put these memories in my container, under the nose, and I close the lid, underneath the mouth, and put it where I want it to go. Collarbone, I actually see this container getting a little smaller. Under the arms, and I'm feeling lighter. Underneath the chest, I feel my nervous system calming and soothing. Wrists, knowing that it is safe for me to leave these memories. Top of the head, it is safe for me to let them go. Eyebrows, and it is safe for me to keep them in this container. Side of the eye, so that I can come back anytime. Under the eyes, when I'm ready. Under the nose. And I'm going to take a deep breath now. Under the mouth, and remind myself that I am safe. Collarbones, and I don't need to continue to carry this information with me. Under the arms, because it is now freed from my body. Under the chest, and safe in my container. Put one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. And again, another deep breath in. And exhale. Okay, notice how you're feeling. If you want to put it in the chat, how are you feeling? Light as a cloud. Amazing. Love that, Sylvia. Sealed and healed. How is your container? What'd you guys choose? Orange carton box. Love that. Beautiful. Turquoise and moving, as long as it has a lid. Drink lots of water, lots and lots of water, because what we're doing here is we're literally, like we said, breaking out of cycles. We are breaking, neural pathways that we've been existing through for so long, and we are creating new neural pathways in our brain and training ourselves to not default back to what happens. Okay, so it's really powerful. So drink a ton of water. Like, yeah, this. Okay. And then tomorrow, for our final day, is our activating and expanding. Okay, this is embodiment. This is like expanding our capacity to hold new experiences, taking embodied action as that leader, as the version of us who easily creates those 10K months. This is the rise, the expansion. Okay, so we've moved through understanding the nervous system. Today we were working on healing, soothing, venting, processing, all of these emotions, these memories. And then tomorrow it's on to the expand. And so I'm so excited to see you all tomorrow on our conversation. And don't forget about the giveaway one last time here today. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, okay, tomorrow is going to be a very expansive conversation. We're going to open ourselves up to receive and move and exist in a new way. So exciting. Okay, you guys, go have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the group chat and tomorrow. Bye.